This is a small clip from one of my main videos. If you like it, then please check out the original video. Okay, bye, love you.
Well, when we get to the car, that car that's all the way over there, that one, I'll give a full-on review of what I experienced. So we got some lunch money on the Berg over there, so we can get more cars to this just and those people in that building aren't talking. Okay, so we're back in the car after that. I'll tell you, as I said before, and it's even more enforced now, Home Depot hits different at nighttime, especially when it's closing. I was like the only customer in there that I saw. Everybody else was an employee who was closing down the place. And something about that, you know, even though it is slightly embarrassing to be the only customer, and at that, recording myself, talking to myself while wandering the aisles, it is kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, it hits different. It feels like I have a whole Home Depot to myself. And there's something about that just, you know, it strikes you right in that little territory. I don't know what you call it. For all I know, I could have probably hidden in there and then they would have closed the building and I would have been trapped in there overnight. That would have been low-key freaking amazing. I could have been in there for another half hour if I really wanted to, but first of all, I was kind of feeling a little bit embarrassed walking around. They saw me, like a few of them caught me like just doing what I was doing. It's a little bit embarrassing. And also, I don't want to keep them there if they just want to go home. They're closing and stuff, so it's like, you know, let's not be that guy. But from what I played, I can give a slight, you know, it's not like a comprehensive review. It's more, holy shit. God forbid anybody cross that guy's path. Anyways, so let's review what we did. Okay. There was a lot of variety, I'll give it that. There's a ton of variety, like the level design never failed to bring something new to the table. They always brought new features, gave you new stuff to do. One problem I do have is that each individual level, aka aisle, had a bit of a hodgepodge of different ideas mashed into one little bundle that didn't really go together very well. Like you saw there were like door handles in the same aisle as ropes and chains, and like there was like these little, I don't even know what you call these little wooden rods. For all I know, these could all belong together, but they don't look it at all. I would say put your ropes and chain stuff into, you know, the kink section and put door stuff in the same section. You know, you had a door section that was completely separated from the door handle section. And I get that it was like, you know, it was just handles and hooks and stuff all in one place. I get that. But you should try and theme it more like, you know, here's the door section. You start with doors, then you go to handles, and then you go to knobs, and then you work your way through all the door stuff in one section. Don't mix and match different ideas in one, because that just looks really sloppy. Another thing I would like to point out is there's a lot of replay value. This is my second time being here and going inside, and I experienced a ton of new stuff that I didn't experience before. A lot of stuff that I feel like I could go back to in the future. For example, the vehicles. I didn't take it upon myself to hop into a vehicle and see how it drives. For all I know, it controls great and feels great and is just a fun experience. But as I said, they're closing. I didn't want to open up that whole new can of worms during closing time. Oh my god. Is that a butterfly or a leaf? It's a butterfly, it's dead. It's on the ground, like fly, okay. It wouldn't even be a leaf, there's no trees. So that's a straight up butterfly plummeting into the ground. Idiot, okay. Anyways, so replay value, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I'm sure there's like, you know, I'm sure once you've had your fill, you kind of don't want to go back. And that's like, it's kind of like Terraria in that sense, where yes, it's replayable, but it's only replayable as much as you enjoy it. And, you know, Terraria, I can replay Terraria about once a year, maybe once every 2 years, something like that. And I am assuming that it's the similar feeling to Home Depot. I'm not sure. I feel like, you know, after a while, the whole sandboxy feel of Home Depot will kind of grow stale on me because I'll just run out of stuff to do. I'm not imaginative enough for that. Now let's go for DLC, okay? So you had those little rooms, like the cutting room and stuff that are cut off, and in order to go in there, you have to purchase, I'm assuming, wood. I'm assuming if you bring wood in there, you can go in there. And I find that really lame. I think that all of this content should come with the base game. For example, the cutting room, you should just be able to access wood that is already cut to your liking. You shouldn't have to pay to get your wood cut to the size you need. I feel like that should just be available from the get-go. Furthermore, I never like it when places like Home Depot got candy and shit on sale. Like, what is that? Do you really expect me to bring a damn, like, power drill to the counter at the same time as I'm bringing a pack of Smarties? What kind of bullshit is that? And then there's all this ambiguous shit. You got these freaking, like, markings on the ground, like these ancient hieroglyphs that are supposed to, like, what? How am I supposed to know what this means? I don't know what the hell this code means. Give me better, like, explain shit, okay? You need, maybe, like, have an opening cinematic or something that explains this shit. Because the way I was, you know, experiencing it, I was just thrown in with no knowledge of what anything was, so I had no clue what these things meant. I do like the idea that there's, like, locked zones, like the indoor lumberyard. I think that's a cool touch, you know. It gives me incentive to keep playing because I can finally figure out what's inside the indoor lumberyard. It's like, woo, what's behind the mystery door? It's like Super Mario fucking Logan, right? I like that. But the thing is, you know, I really don't think I'm going to be coming back here enough to reach that point. And, you know, it doesn't really give me a sneak peek or anything. It kind of just has a closed off door, and I think that's really lazy. They should give me incentive to keep playing so I experience that in the future and, like, am happy with what I reached. There are a lot of extra vehicles and stuff in the parking lot, and we touched on that a little bit the previous trip here during the day. And I would love to hijack one of these vehicles and ride around town with it, but the thing is, none of this is actually, you know, in the Home Depot space. This is all just, you know, oh my god, there's more. Yeah, this is all not Home Depot. You can see there's a McDonald's over there. This is totally, these are different games, okay? We're basically in the parking lot right now. We're basically at the GameStop shopping for games, and the game that we've chosen to play in the kiosk is Home Depot. One last thing I'd like to touch up on is that freaking price tag. Now, the game is free to play. You can head inside, do whatever you want for free, but it's also pay to win, because you can't do any of this stuff without actually buying an item. You can go inside, get a look at it, and come out, but at that point, that's all you got, is a look inside. You can play around with the sandbox and stuff, and you can explore the world, but you can't actually partake in the activities. You have to pay for that. At that point, why make it free? Just charge me a flat fee, $60 up front, and then give me all the content. Next up, I'd like to touch on the soundtrack. Now, the game actually licenses music from, not the public domain, but from actual artists. You can hear throughout my vlogging experience, there was music playing on the speakers, and you know, it's not really game soundtrack, but that's just all they play. There's also the home theme that you hear in the home menu, which, you know, I guess this is technically the home menu, so let's hear the theme. Let's hear it. You know, it goes hard, it's a bop and stuff, but it's like, you know, have a bit more variety and have more than just a theme that, while it slaps, yes, it is a 3-second theme song that loops over and over again, and it gets freaking old real quick. Spice it up with some interesting soundtrack choices. Maybe throw in some Beethoven or something. I mean, God, how hard would that be? Next up, characters. The characters in here are phenomenal. You guys, I didn't get it on recording because I was embarrassed, but the employee on the way out, as I walked out, she said, "How are you doing today?" And then I said, "Oh, I'm just leaving." And then she said, "Oh, I see. Have a good day." That is some top-notch freaking dialogue, and they programmed that perfectly. It emulates a human reaction to the T. It was like it was real life. It was crazy. I think it was very lazy how none of the NPCs had dialogue. They all just kind of wandered around and closed up shop. I kind of wish they gave them backstories or something, have them give me quests, or just at least have them have, you know, like a little... The motherfuckers do still talk at night. Are you serious? Shut the fuck up. Okay, back to the review. I wish the NPCs, at the very least, as I passed them, had a little text box above them saying, "Oh, how you doing?" None of that. They were all just silent. They all just closed up shop, except for the one NPC. Have them give me quests or something of that nature, or just don't even bother putting NPCs in the game to begin with. It adds to the ambiance a little bit, but like have them do something with me, you know? So there's no character development, and that sucks. Really, you're relying on the world and what you do with it. The characters are just set pieces so that it feels a little bit more immersive, but you know, take that for what you will. Level progression is a little bit skewed. I mean, it's an open world. Are you fucking serious? What the hell? Tiny, are you in the car? That shit's in here. You know what? Is it even on camera? Where is it? Yeah, you know what? That thing can live. It can live. I'll let it live. You, my guy, are gonna be my buddy. You're I can't tell if it's on the outside or inside. It's definitely on the inside. It's running away from me. I don't even know if the camera's picking that up, but little tiny spider. That spider will be my pet, and we can both talk about Home Depot together. I would like to point out that the level design, as I said, is very mixed. It's very random. The level progression kind of doesn't exist. It's an open world. You can go to any level at any point. Honestly, I enjoy freedom like that. I enjoy the fact that you can hit like a really tough area at the very beginning of the game if you really want to. So, you know, if you really feel like taking it on that early, it gives you the choice to do that. So if you can't do it, then you know to go back later when you're strong enough. And if you can do it, congrats. You just mastered the game and you're taking advantage of that. I think it's a great and very smart level design. I really appreciate stuff like that. Graphics, I mean, the graphics were pretty good. 2020 to be exact, I'm pretty sure, not to brag. But yeah, pretty good graphics. The frame rate is great. You only see it through 60 frames per second because of my iPhone, but I'm telling you, that was at least like 100 frames per second. The motorcycle ambiance is crazy. I don't know why that's necessary for a Home Depot, but by all means, continue. Okay, so overall, I would like to give Home Depot a solid, shall we say, a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. It's a very good game, but it has room for improvement, and I think the sequel can touch on that. Or at least if they remaster it, just do something, fix it a little bit. I did notice, I don't know if this is actually how Home Depot looks in other places, but I've seen Home Depots that look like this, where it's just solid orange all around, and maybe that's like the remaster. Maybe I'm playing on like an old console or something. I need to get an upgraded console. I'm hoping for a remaster, maybe a sequel, just something to fix those little tiny parts where stuff could be improved. I think that would go a long way, and it would really perfect what we've already got here. I think that's what we need. And with that, I think I'm gonna head out now. This was probably the absolute most freaking stupid thing I've ever done in my entire life. And if anybody around me saw me doing this, I kind of blanked. I've just been talking, so if somebody like walked by or drove by me during this, they probably thought I was a real freaking lunatic. Anyways, I'm gonna head off to a gas station